Hey everyone, happy college football. Welcome to Porcelain Picks. I'm your host, Andrew Fabian, bringing you Week 5's version of Porcelain Audit. It's Tuesday night. We're one day late, one additional day of licking our wounds this week. Finished the week at 9-14. No excuses. We started out the day pretty hot. We ended up not later on in the evening. All right. We at Porcelain Picks, we hold ourselves accountable. No other show comes on and has a specific show for what we got right and what we most importantly got wrong, so we could be accountable to you, our viewers. The reason you trust us is because of this. Our record last year, we won 139, 110, and 3. We've had a rocky start to this year. 29-39 going into week 5, and then going 9-14 in week 5. We feel the best is yet to come. So make sure you subscribe. We've got Joey Mack coming alive with Maction, moving forward into next week. We have the Tuesday night game starting out. We are going to do better for you, our viewers, because we at Porcelain Picks are focused on bringing you the locks you need as you scroll atop the porcelain throne. So now, Tuesday evening, from the dimly lit basement down here so I don't wake up my family, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of where we went wrong and where we went right this past week, all right? So starting out with the noon slate, so this was our best slate of the day. We had the Kansas State game, Oklahoma State coming into town. Kansas State, I said -4.5, which was a lock 'em, flush 'em. Kansas State with the easy victory. I told you Avery Johnson was going to bring it with the rushing attack. This was a big bounce back game for the Wildcats, so lock that, flush that. I also said the under 57.5 was the safe bet. It went slightly over that. It was just above 60, so we got that one wrong. All right, BYU traveling to Baylor. I told you BYU was the much stronger team. They were going to come out and out-muscle a blue-collar Baylor team that lost a really devastating defeat at Colorado the week prior on that Hail Mary and then overtime loss. BYU coming off that strong victory against Kansas State. No idea why the line was +3.5. Hopefully you played it money line like I teased, but I took in BYU +3.5. That one hit easily. Lock it, flush it. All right. Go on to Nebraska. We had Nebraska -10.5 at Purdue. That one hits as well. Raiola with a bounce back game again. Hair on the chest for this kid. I got made fun of for that comment last week, but that's all right. That's all right. He's got hair on his chest. He's a freshman. He's growing up week over week. Nebraska is in for a good season ahead. All right. Maryland at Indiana. I told you to take Indiana -6.5. That one hit. Indiana's undefeated. They're 5-0 for the first time in something like 40 or 50 years. So good on the Hoosiers. We'll keep an eye on them. I told you to take the under 51.5 as well. That was wrong. So we split in that game. All right. Louisville at Notre Dame to kick off the 3:30 slate. I told you this was going to be under. I also told you to lean Notre Dame, but I did not pick that. We were dead wrong again on that under. It went well over. So that was a miss. Wisconsin at USC. I told you to take the team total over 32.5. It was a little shoddy for the Trojans at the start, but they end up going over. They hit 38. So that one was a lock 'em, flush 'em. All right. Go to Oklahoma at Auburn. I told you Oklahoma +1.5. I told you they were going to win that game. They did. They probably shouldn't have. Hugh Freeze in Auburn. Throw away another game. Peyton Thorne with that pick six in the fourth quarter. Oklahoma gets the victory. That was a lock 'em. But I told you to take the under 44.5. That one missed. It went 48 points in that game, or 47 points in that game. So that was a split. All right, Arkansas at A&M. I told you A&M -5.5 was going to be the victorious pick here. Arkansas got lucky with the Auburn turnovers the week prior, so I thought they were a bit overvalued. Just a 5.5-point dog. A&M comes out and just wins this game by 4 points. So we missed on this one with the backup QB. Still think highly of A&M. I still think they're lost to Notre Dame. They took a little licking that they shouldn't have with a strong Irish team that had a misstep as well. All right, Colorado at UCF. This was the stinker of the week. All right, we haven't done a stinker of the week yet, but this one deserves it. And not only UCF is the stinker of the week for losing 3 bets for us, but I'll call myself the stinker of the week on this one. I told you Coach Prime was going to come into this game playing into all the strengths, their weaknesses into all the strengths that UCF has with the running game, with the lines of scrimmage. That didn't happen. I told you to take UCF -8.5 in the first half. Nowhere close. Colorado up big early. I told you to take UCF -14.5 for the game. That one was nowhere near. Colorado blew them out. And I told you to take the UCF team over 38.5. Not even close. They end up with 20. This was a flat-out miss, and for that reason, I am your stinker of the week. All right? Good on you, Coach Prime, for proving me wrong. Let's go to Maction. All right. We were due for this. Joey Mack's been strong all season long, so this is just a little blip on the radar for Joey Mack going 1-3 in his picks. His stone cold lock of the week, as we've mentioned, was betting against Kent State. So that Eastern Michigan minus 14 at Kent State. This was a victorious pick. That was the lone correct pick Joey Mack picked all week. Out of the four picks he made, that's okay. We forgive him. He's still carrying this show so far this year. He also had the under in that game. That was nowhere near 47. It was well above that. All right, Central Michigan, San Diego State, over 52. Joey Mack missed on that one. That's okay. Old Dominion at Bowling Green. I was heavily favoring Bowling Green in this game at minus 9.5, as was Joey Mack. So that one's on both of us, but that one was wrong. Old Dominion comes in and surprises a team that hung with A&M and Penn State on the road. Let's go to the nighttime games. All right, we had Stanford at Clemson. I told you to take Clemson minus 21.5. I don't think I'm betting against Clemson the rest of the season. They cover in that game, albeit pretty close. It was a 26 or 27 point victory for them, but that was a lock 'em, flush 'em, one of the only ones at night. The other, Illinois plus 17.5. I told you to take that. I thought the Illini were going to come in and keep it close with Penn State. They did. Even if the stats say otherwise, Penn State ended up outplaying them at the end of the game, 121-7. They had two missed field goals, also did the Nittany Lions, which would have covered that spread, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. We got that one right. We will chalk that up as a victory with Illinois plus 17.5. I also told you to take the over 48.5. Not even close. All right, let's go to the biggest game of the weekend, Georgia at Bama. I told you Georgia -1. I thought Kirby Smart was going to out-coach Kalen DeBoer, and they were going to come in and end up winning a close battle. That almost happened. Georgia was down big early. It was 28-0 Bama. Good on them for keeping it close and coming back. But ultimately, Georgia takes the lead by 1, and then an amazing play by Ryan Williams, that freshman phenom, which you've all seen many times, I'm sure, by now, with that 75-yard touchdown to win the game for Bama. So this was a miss. I also told you to take the under 50.5. Typically, the argument here is that typically when teams come off bye weeks, they are prepared and they play some good defense. That didn't happen. The score went way over. All right. So again, we went 9-14 this week to continue the losing trend off of that 29-39 record. So what does that bring us to? 38 and some quick math, 53. All right. So we got to get better. We have plenty of season left to catch up and get into the green. We plan to do that starting this week with week 6. We at Porcelain Picks are here to deliver the locks you need as you scroll atop the porcelain throne. For Joey Mack, I'm Andrew Fabian. Join us on Friday for the big show. Thanks all. Happy college football.